Picture a primate with a penchant for plunging. The Proboscis monkey, with its pendulous schnozz and a physique built for aquatic acrobatics, is the rainforest's resident daredevil. This long-nosed leaper doesn't just swing through the mangroves. It hurls itself into the drink with the grace of a 10-year-old at the Y, making a splash that echoes through the Bornean backwaters. But sometimes, you have to make some waves to survive here in life, death, and taxonomy.
Welcome to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
Thank you for the creation of our... Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And a very special thank you to our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on.
And today we're talking about a monkey liar. No, I'm just kidding. More on that later, though. Not actually a liar, just looks like one.
Is he a lion? Pants on fire?
Yes.
What are we talking
Speaking of... Well, first of all, we're talking about the proboscis monkey. Proboscis is a gross word that doesn't mean anything gross. It sounds gross. Like moist is kind of gross sounding, and it's a gross thing in certain contexts. Proboscis just means nose, or like rostrum, or like a mosquito's needle. I guess it's a gross thing.
Did you ever go through a phase in like middle school where you found out what a weenus was?
Yeah, oh yeah, that was very popular.
Yeah, that was
your
all
weenus
the rage
is showing
for a while.
And you'd be like, "How dare you say that to me? That's a lie."
That is a filthy lie.
And they're like, "No, it's just your elbow." Oh, it's the skin on your elbow. Is that true? Even
yeah, it is.
It's slang for the loose skin on the elbow. It's not even real.
It's Urban Dictionary. What? But
yeah,
it's there's lots of medical terms where it's like I wish it wasn't. Like the medical term for chewing, which I'm not even gonna say. The companion to expectoration, which is just a spit. But that word made its debut in Beauty of the Beast, so everybody should know that one.
Sure did. Before we get too far, did you shout out Bev? We have a new patron, Bev.
I have not shouted out Bev yet.
A new patron in April, Bev.
Welcome, Bev. Thank you so much for your
support.
Short
for beverage, maybe? Or Beverly?
In Futurama, there's a vending machine named Bev, that's short for beverage.
That's pretty good. Beverage is a name.
Is it?
The guy who translated Calvin's Institutes, one of them, is last name Beverage.
Oh, I mean, I guess as a last name, anything goes, but like as a first name, it's a little...
Bev
unusual.
Says... don't worry, gang. We'll win Carlos over to Buc-ee's eventually.
I've been to Buc-ee's twice, and I was whelmed. I was whelmed.
Bev,
both times.
Not under, not over. Whelmed.
That's what my boss says whenever, like, every once in a while when we're we'll have a meeting, and she'll be like, "So how you feeling? Are you feeling overwhelmed, underwhelmed?" Just whelmed. And I'm usually like, I'm pretty whelmed.
So Bev, don't worry, he's whelmed. Would you like to?
I enjoyed the Bass Pro Shops gas station Walmart as much as I could, as much as anyone as much as anyone should, I suppose.
No, it's great. It makes I'm telling you, on a long car ride, you get in there, you smell that brisket, and you feel like you're home.
There are
really
places
do.
I would rather get brisket from, but there are no places I would rather go to the bathroom on the road. Those are the best bathrooms.
Those are great bathrooms. I like that they have edible cookie dough. I like the jerky. I like Bucky's Nuggies. But anyway, they're not a sponsor. But do you want to know what science calls this thing?
No, I want to talk about some nicknames. This is also known as the long-nosed monkey. It's also known as the bakantan, which is a local word for it, a Bornean native word for it. We're going to call it here the Sultan of Splash and the belly flop bonobo. That's just fun to say, even though it's not a bonobo. We had some sort of like virus go around the Jacksonville Zoo, and like 3 of the bonobos died.
That's what virus? Jeez.
I don't know, but it was
Corona.
It was bad. It only affected
stinks.
the apes over there. So, anyway,
Man, you don't think about that.
One science, please, if you've got one tucked away.
I have one science, please. You're welcome. It's Kingdom. You know, you love it. You're in it. You're the Kingdom Animalia. The phylum, Chordata. Class, Mammalia. Order, Primates.
Mm-hmm.
Primates. The suborder, Haplorhini. Haplorhini,
probably.
Haplorini. If it was a old-timey magician, it would be Haplorini. But if it's an infraorder, it's Simiformes. Simiformes. Would that be how you say it?
A simian? Form of simian.
Simiformes. Form of a simian. Family Sauropithecidae. Sauropithecidae.
I have Circo.
Circopithecidae.
Pithecidae. Yeah.
I'm thinking of
Circopithecidae. Yeah, Gigantopithecus from Christopher Walken's
maybe Christopher Walken said it wrong.
landmark performance.
Oh, subfamily is Colobinae. And the tribe, a great tribe, Presbytini.
I don't.
Spelled like
I didn't jot the
Presbyterian.
tribe
It must
down.
be. I'm pretty sure that word just means
Old, right?
no. It means.
Doesn't presby mean old?
Well, a presbytery or presbyter is like a bishop, like an elder. And it's like it's notable for Presbyterians because it's ruled by like a Presbyterian church is ruled by elders rather than a single person. Pretty sure presbyter.
Yeah, it means elder.
A very small elder, presbytini.
He's just a little elder. He's Yoda. Yoda's the little elder.
Genus Nasalis, and then the species is Larvatus, Nasalis larvatus.
I'd have to say, and wouldn't you, that genus name is a little on the nose.
Yes, I would.
Thanks. I'll be here all week. Since we're in the business of naming things, and apparently business is humming, it's time for the listener's favorite part of the show, nitty-gritty nomenclature. It's the part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that is, what is the English translation for the binomial nomenclature, which in this case is Nasalis larvatus. So, does Nasalis larvatus mean A, masked nose, B, grub-like nose, I'm not letting you off easy on this one, C, nasal larva, or D, young nose?
Oh, young nose. Run them past me again.
Masked nose, grub-like nose, nasal larva, and young nose. One of these things is not like the others.
It's masked. That's not like the others.
Is that your final answer?
Gross. No. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that one.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. All of them are... I had to include nose in all of them, but the others have something to do with the word larva. And masked does not seem like it does, but that's what it means. Larva actually...
Larvatus?
Larvatus has like a covering mask or ghost-like qualities.
Huh.
Which is interesting. But yeah, obviously Nasalis is of or referring to a nose. But young nose sounds like a rapper. And nasal larva sounds like something that happens to you in the world of Ridley Scott's Alien. It's an H.R. Geiger thing to happen to you.
Okay. H.R. Geiger.
Yeah, you've seen. I think it's
Alien.
Prometheus. No, not Prometheus.
Yeah.
It's the other one, the Covenant, where like he gets something in it, like he leans against something and then it goes into his ear, and then that spawns the problems that they have going forward. To keep it, G-rated, but
yeah, they have a few problems.
Yeah, going to an alien planet like that and contracting nasal larva sounds like a mercy compared to what happens. But yeah, masked nose. That's what Nasalis larvatus means.
Very nice. Very good. Okay. Would you like to know what it looks like?
I would.
Well, they were a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
In the truest sense of the word. They got a tail and everything. They're kind of...
So not bonobos, specifically, because they don't have tails.
No, but they're funny looking in so many ways. Kind of a dumpy little monkey.
It's a Muppet.
They have reddish-brown fur and a pot-bellied stomach due to their complex digestive system and partially webbed feet aiding in swimming. Very strange features for a monkey. The gray, they're reddish-brown and gray, and the gray is so... It's almost blue. If you glance at them, you might think they're blue and red. Blue, red, and white. But they're not. They're gray.
That's a patriotic monkey.
Yeah, it's a patriotic monkey. And even more patriotic because it's kind of orange in the face. And
so it makes chocolate at Willy Wonka's factory.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a dumpy little monkey with a pot belly and a big silly nose. They have the proboscis, nose. They have big, funny looking noses. Especially males, particularly males, have large, pendulous noses. They dangle like Squidward noses.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Squidward monkey. I'll talk more about the noses later, but how big are they? Their size, their dimensions, how can we understand them relatably? Welcome to the Beloved Measure Up segment, the official listeners part of the show. The part of the show when we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms through a quiz that's fun for the whole family. It's also part of the show that you have an opportunity to send in your own introduction. Just send in audio of yourself singing or chittering the words measure up into taxonomy at gmail.com. We don't have a new measure up intro this week, which means we get to hear from an animal. And Carlos has to guess what it is. He doesn't have to. It's a free country, but like there's a certain amount of social pressure to do so.
The patriotic proboscis monkey says it's a free country, and therefore it is. Although red, white, and blue are the colors of a lot of countries, so it's not.
That's true.
Which could be patriotic for France, or it could be patriotic for Cuba. Those are the only two I can think of right now. UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand.
I'm fine. Without further ado, the listeners' favorite part of the show. Did you hear any of that?
I heard nothing. Not even. Sometimes I hear like something to work with. That was like you turned off your mic.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you the character's name. You just tell me what it's from. The character's name is Hacha-Chacha, and it is a proboscis monkey.
I don't know. There's a Pokemon named Macha-Gotcha. That's about all I've got to work with here.
Pretty close. Do you know another famous villainous monkey, not named Hacha-Chacha, but similarly rhyming in his name?
Mojo Jojo?
Correct.
It's from that? It's from the
Powerpuff Girls movie. There's a scene where Mojo Jojo wants to become the leader of the Planet of the Apes. And then there's a power struggle. And Hacha-Chacha is a proboscis monkey in this song where they're all struggling for power. And he's one of them.
I am woefully out of step with my Powerpuff Girls lore.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wish I could have heard a little bit of it. Or maybe I'm better off because I didn't. I don't know.
It's not great.
No? You're telling me that like
it's a song and it's not good.
It's a song from a Cartoon Network show from the early 2000s.
From a movie of the Cartoon Network show in the early 2000s. Let's talk about their size and dimensions. They're sexually dimorphic, which means there's differences between the sexes. One of those differences is the males are slightly larger. They're 26 to 30 inches head to body, excluding the tail. So, how many proboscis monkeys fit into each of these objects' length? Which one of these is correct? A, 1.6 go into the length of a Dayak blowpipe. B, 3.3 go into the length of a Borneo pygmy elephant. Or C, 1.9 go into the height of a Rafflesia flower.
That's a tall flower, if that's the case.
Rafflesia? I don't know. The Dayak blowpipe is used by indigenous groups like the Iban in Sarawak, which is a place in Borneo, I believe. The Borneo pygmy elephant is a subspecies native to the Borneo forest. And Rafflesia flowers are giant parasitic flowers found in Borneo's rainforests.
I guess maybe if it was like a vine, the length of its stem as it wrapped around something, like I could see that being pretty long. I'm just picturing this like this is 5-foot flower. Elephant. Final answer.
The correct answer is B, the pygmy elephant. Yeah.
Yes.
I might have said height, but I meant diameter for the flower. 3.3 feet in diameter.
The diameter of the flower is 3.5 feet.
Yeah, Rafflesia flower.
Holy
I think
moly.
we might have talked about this before. It's like the world's largest flower.
Some people have like a bit of like a plant phobia, and I feel like this flower would trigger that.
Did you look it up?
No, I haven't.
It would. It looks fleshy almost. It's not.
Oh yeah, I don't like it. And I don't have a flower phobia.
Looks like the top of a Gloom Pokemon.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Gloom.
Maybe Gloom is that.
It looks like if you provoke it, teeth will come out.
I bet it is. I bet that's what happens. Yeah. I just typed in Gloom flower inspiration and that flower came up.
Yeah, it looks just like it. Yeah, this looks like it will follow you home.
Let's talk about their weight. They're 50 chocolate kisses. And by that I mean they're 50 pounds. Big little monkey. 22.7 kilograms. How many monkeys fit into these things, and which one of these is correct? A, 0.5. Go into the weight of a hornbill.
Okay.
B, 0.8. Go into the weight of a traditional Bidayu gong. Or C, 2.2. Go into the weight of a pitcher plant.
2.2. A pitcher plant.
A giant pitcher plant.
Weighing 125 pounds.
Endemic to Borneo's Mount Kinabalu. Also, the gong is a brass or bronze percussion instrument used in ceremonials in Sarawak. And the rhinoceros hornbill weighs about certain pounds.
Yeah, what are you going to tell me the answer?
Borneo's iconic bird.
A 25-pound bird. That's quite a bird. That's a big bird.
No, yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
So I'm gonna go with, and the gong was 4 of these things, 200-pound gong. I feel like if a gong is gonna be famous enough, it's gonna be more than 200 pounds. It's gonna be like several thousand pounds.
I don't know if it's a. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if this is the Bidayu gong. I think it's just type of gong.
Oh, it's not like this is the Bidayu gong that's been at the top of this mountain for 1,000 years. I'm still gonna go with the pitcher plant because I'm thinking about plant-based Pokemon, and this is it's Victory Bell.
Final answer.
Yep.
The correct answer is the pitcher plant.
Yes.
It can be up to 110 pounds when fully mature.
We're
talking
water?
Big plants today. Full of whatever that is.
This is like what is it? Rocky, not Rocky Horror Picture Show. That is not what. That is
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Different. No.
Rocky 5.
Little Shop of Horrors. That
Yeah.
one. Where Rick Moranis... And I actually haven't finished that. It's a musical, so it lost my interest almost immediately. But it's Rick Moranis and a talking plant from Mario.
From Mario, yeah.
Piranha plant or whatever.
All right. Also, their tail is 28 inches long, so nearly doubles their length.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You want to hear some fast facts?
Sure.
Well, they're native to Borneo, in case you were wondering about that. They have a distinctive nose. Particularly males, have large pendulous noses that can exceed 4 inches. And they're used to amplify vocalizations to attract mates. Females have smaller upturned noses. That's cute. They've got cute button noses. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like what?
They're all.
If you
they're
look
who's. They look like who's.
Yeah. If you look at the males, they have these Squidward noses, and the females have who noses. Like
it's Muppets and Who's.
Little pointed noses that point up. Very interesting. They're found in mangrove forests, swamps, riverine areas of Borneo, often near water sources. Hence the webbed feet. They primarily are folivorous, not frivolous. What?
They're not frivolous. They're frivolously.
Not frivolous. I couldn't.
Folivorous.
Folivorous ruined that word in my mind.
Yeah.
Like I was. Could not say that again. Flivorous and folivorous. Wow, that's
no
hard.
frivolous.
Frivolous and
folivorous. Now I can't even say the second one. Goodness, this is hard.
Oh, here's your challenge, everybody. Let me see if frivolous and folivorous foliage. That's your challenge to say.
Flavisham.
Yeah. Anyway, that means eating leaves, seeds, unripe fruits. Why unripe? It's a special. They have a specialized stomach for digesting tough plant material, so they can take it unripe. They don't need it. They don't need it. Give it to them green, raw and wriggling.
That's like they're like the Hotson of the monkey world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They live in groups of 10 to 30. Typically, one dominant male, several females, and their offspring. Males often form bachelor groups like lions do. They're essentially lions in that regard. They're very good at swimming. They're unique among primates in that they love the water and they're doing it good in the water. And they can cross rivers and use waterways to escape predators or find food. They're endangered due to habitat loss from deforestation and palm oil plantations, with an estimated population of around 7,000. Imagine, does anyone even like palm oil? What do we use that for?
I don't know.
Males use loud honking sounds amplified by their noses to communicate, to attract mates, or to warn of danger. They honk like Squidward. No, Squidward has a clarinet. Yeah, that's kind of honking. Do you have any big facts?
I do. This one's called Slaparazzi, which I can't take credit for. That's from Mario Party 8. Yeah. Whenever my wife and I play that game, that's our favorite mini game is Slaparazzi. But Proboscis monkeys are known for dramatic belly flops. They're fun. They're fun like that. They flop into rivers and swamps. They launch themselves from trees, mostly to escape predators, but they can also use that to go to different feeding sites. These leaps can cover distances of up to 60 feet. So they jump from like really, really high up down into water, which would normally injure fleshy beings falling from that height. The monkeys usually aim for flat, splashy landings that maximizes their impact, minimizes injury, which if you've ever done a belly flop, you're like, I feel like the belly flop maximizes injury. Like that hurts a lot worse than just like jumping straight in. It's facilitated by their, like you mentioned, partially webbed feet. They act like flippers. They can swim once they get in the water, stabilize their entry, and move on from where they jumped in. They can evade predators like clouded leopards and pythons, even though both of those can swim. But sometimes it's good to just jump 60 feet into the water in hopes that you're not going to be followed. The large splash, researchers believe, can serve as a social signal, which alerts other group members to potential danger. You can coordinate like group movement. It's like, oh, Timmy splashed. It's time for us to go. He was our watch splasher. If Timmy splashed, then what hope is there for the rest of us? Like a canary in the coal mine kind of thing. They have like you said, large pendulous noses. They amplify their vocalizations, which they can also use to warn of danger. And just a big honk and a splash is probably enough to tell all of the other proboscis monkeys in the area that there is a leopard ready to eat. But like I mentioned, this belly flopping actually reduces the risk of injury compared to diving headfirst into a river. When you look at it that way, you're like, okay, yeah. If I was over a body of water and I didn't know how deep it was, my best chance is to belly flop. Because who knows what you're going to run into if you just like pencil dive in there. They have, these pot bellies, webbed feet, large bodies, and they can just kind of splash down in the water and not sink too far so that they don't hit rocks or, sunken trees or anything that's down in there. This gives them access to food sources like mangrove leaves and fruits in flooded forests, which other primates can't easily reach. If they continue to belly flop, if they do it over and over again, this can stress their bodies. But for the most part, they are adapted to withstand the strain of frequent jumps. They're like the 101st Airborne of the monkeys.
Yeah. Just like that.
We're finding just like airtight comparisons here. They're exactly like lions, and they are exactly like the 101st.
Exactly. Yes.
And therefore, lions and the 101st are the same. The 101st were just lions. We dropped lions on the Nazis. The belly flopping behavior is most common in males. They are larger and they can use that display to assert dominance or attract mates. They can turn it into like a flashy performance. I highly recommend people just watch videos of these belly flops. It's just hilarious to see like this wide shot of this monkey just arms flailing as it jumps out of the tree into the water. It'll like do a cat like C shape right before it hits.
Okay.
So it doesn't like completely arms out.
Mitigates.
Where it like hits the water and like a cartoon like floats down like a leaf, swaying back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? But because obviously that hurts a lot. But it's a best of both worlds where you don't get that much pain from hitting the surface of the water, but also you don't endanger yourself as much by diving in from 60 feet up. So that is the proboscis monkey, this unusual looking Squidward Muppet that belly flops into rivers.
I'm seeing ones where the baby is like
clinging
clinging
to
to
the belly. It's like my baby's going to absorb the impact.
Yeah.
What a good parent.
Luckily, looks like the baby gets the hint. It must have happened before because the baby like shifts to the side a little bit.
Like, oh boy, we are airborne. Time to.
Oh my gosh!
Move.
How high did you say they will do this from?
60 feet.
Yo.
6 stories up.
Yeah. That's gonna sting.
Yeah, sting is the operable word here, but not kill. You dive into that, and there's you don't realize that it's only like 3 or 4 feet deep. You're dead.
But if you're a human, if you're them,
you're still probably dead. You
maybe.
You dive in from
3 or 4
60 feet. They still weigh 50 pounds. Diving in.
That's true.
They're gonna if they're hydrodynamic enough, they're gonna.
That's
make
why
some
you belly
distance.
flop.
That's why you belly flop.
Really,
that's exactly right.
You don't go straight to the bottom.
That's exactly what the proboscis monkey thought. That's why I belly flop.
Yeah.
That was the intro to his master class. This is why I belly flop.
Doctors hate him. He's figured it out.
He doesn't wash his blueberries and he belly flops. I don't know what it is about like whenever I see those like goofy ads aimed at older folks. It's always like claim your social security. This is a hack to get unlimited social security checks or something like that, and then right under it is like never wash your blueberries. Like,
I've been seeing one recently.
Is that a euphemism?
That's like, well, there's one that's like, okay, so like, do you know what Rumble is?
No.
Rumble is like an alternate universe YouTube. It's just another YouTube, but it's just like less during like the period of like everyone getting canceled and censored and blah 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 on like YouTube and other platforms. They made Rumble, and you can just do whatever you want over there. Not obviously the big things you can't do, but you can say whatever you want over there. And they've got some of the most like old West internet style, like the old chaos days of the internet. Those ads, the worst ads, and one of them is of a dog. They're like advertising toy dogs that are lifelike, but they're just videos of dogs or AI dogs, and it's just clearly not a toy. And now I've been seeing those now on real YouTube. I don't understand why this is like not like getting past all the like.
Where's
red
the FCC?
Yeah, well, like why is YouTube allowing like clearly a scam?
Why am I looking at AI dogs? Washington, fix this.
Why are you trying to sell me an AI dog? All right, yeah. That's
all right.
All I got.
Well, that is the proboscis monkey. I said money. Thinking of ads. For you out there in Podcastia, climb into a tree, honk your unusually large schnozz, and belly flop into the nearest body of water, like the proboscis monkey here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we have a Patreon that you can find by going to ldtaxonomy.com/donate. All of our episodes are uploaded there. Sign up for free to engage with us, leave episode suggestions, or chat with other animal enthusiasts. If you find it in your heart to donate, it will help us cover some costs and continue to make the show. Plus, we'll thank you every week. Most importantly, thank you all for listening.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
Just the fact that they have webbed feet is interesting. They're a weird monkey.